Inshallah, we'll start with book 1, Madina Arabic book series. Today, inshallah, we'll do introduction and then the first 2 lessons plus the other introductions and then maybe the 3rd lesson also. We see what we can squeeze into the about 30 minutes. Not to make this class too long, just so keep it to 30 minutes, inshallah. It's time. But before 9 it must be done. And also another thing, the classes we'll be having inshallah every week. It will be people will be reading, participating. So those who don't have the book should try to get the books, book 1. Because we want to do book 1 and then book 2 and book 3, inshallah. And we're not going to do 1 lesson every week. We'll do hopefully more than 1 lesson. That's the plan. Some lessons are long, we stick to the 1 lesson. If it's short, we do this next lesson also. But the main thing is 2 things. 1 thing before the class that people should prepare to do for the class, and 1 thing after the class. Preparation for the class, read through the class we're going to do. So if you're going to do lesson 1 and 2, or maybe lesson 3 and 5, or lesson 4 and 5, read through lesson 4 and 5. Because sometimes when we say, you read the example, and the person is struggling to read it. So make it firm, make it, no, like we say, mark firm. Make it prepared, and when you read in the class, then you flow. So we don't stuck like people struggling to read and so forth. And if someone didn't prepare, you might just say I didn't prepare. We skip. So keep the class short. Otherwise it's gonna go very long because that takes a lot of time when you say you read. Another thing, after the class, there's homework, obviously the exercise in the book. Finish it inshallah. The purpose of book 1, like the introduction is, when we're learning the Arabic language, Al-Arabiya, is made up of main 2 things. Al-Arabiya, main 2 things. Mufradat. Mufradat means singular words. And you have Jumal. Mufradatun and Jumal. Singular words and sentences. The Mufradat, when we're learning the Mufradat, there are 2 sciences connected to it. When you're learning the Jumal, 2 sciences connected to it. So once you know that, you know what I should do to learn Arabic. You know the path. So the 2 sciences connected to Mufradat and the 2 sciences connected to Jumal. 1 is to do with the bina of the kalima, or the bina, the building, and the other is to do with the meaning. So the one to do with the building for the Mufradat is called, or let's say the meaning first. The one to do with the meaning of the Mufradat is ilmul mu'jam. It's basically learning vocabulary, the dictionary. Mu'jam, dictionary, and the way the words are. So learning the words, vocabulary, increasing your word count. Then we need to do with the build up of the word. So this is the meaning, for the meaning of the words, and how the word is built. For that, there's something called ilm as-sarf. Let's say as-sarf. As-sarf is morphology. Morphology is the building up of the word. Because in Arabic words, we know the words change. So qatala, he killed. Yaqtulu, he is killing. Qatilun, the one who kills. Maqtulun, the one who is killed. So one word can change to many meanings. So the changing of the word brings about different meanings. So this affects the meanings. So this to do with the meanings, and this to do with the building, which affects the meanings, the build up of the word. When you come to sentences, similar. Is a knowledge connected to the meanings. I think what was better is to put the meaning first, the sarf on top, which is the build up of the word, and ilmul mu'jam, which is the meaning. And then when we come to the jumal, the sentences, the build up of a sentence, what science do we use to know how to build a sentence? Nahu, ilmul nahu, grammar. So we know where to put the fi'l, the verb, where to put the fa'il, the doer, where's the maf'ul, where's the done upon, mubtada and the khabar, those things is in nahu. So building up a sentence, you use nahu. And to know the deeper meanings behind a sentence and the way it is structured, what science is for that? Ilmul balagha. Ilmul balagha. which is made up of al-bayan, al-ma'ani, wal-badi'. So al-balagha, it focuses on the sentence structure, the meaning behind it. So if a word is put here, like say example, if we say iyyaka na'budu is what you alone do we worship. But if I say na'budu iyyaka or na'buduka, if I say na'buduka, it means you do we worship. But if we put the maf'ul, the done upon in front, it brings a different meaning. So when you're changing the way of the sentences, meanings changes. So this is basically what a person needs to know to learn Arabic, to become very good in Arabic. And to become to have a strong basis. In book 1, what do we learn? In book 1, Madina the book, so let's look at where we are. In book 1, we learn a lot of vocab. And we learn grammar. Also, basically that too. In book 1, we don't learn much sarf. The sarf comes more in book 2. In book 1, I think there's like 3 verbs in the whole book. It's mostly nouns. So to build up your vocabulary. And when someone wants to learn Arabic language, from the most important things is to build your vocabulary. And then also to apply it, to use it. So now if you build your vocabulary and you know the nahu, you basically know how to make up sentences. Later, what do you need to increase your vocabulary? That same vocabulary that you have, to increase it, you need to know how to change a word. If you change one word, you can make your vocabulary times 10. So when you learn sarf, your vocabulary increases big time. Because if I know now in book 1 example, we do kathir, or let's say kabir, which means big, in book 1. So when I learn sarf, I learn the morphology of that word. Let's say another word, thaqil, which means heavy, right? So if I say, put this in a verb form, thaqula, and the fi'l mudari' will be yathqulu. So it means he is heavy, it is heavy, or it became heavy, the fi'l mudari'. So now I learned the changing, the one word and how to change it. So once you learn sarf in book 2, you know how to, what the vocabulary that you have, you just need to play with it and change it and increase your vocabulary like that. The same words that you have. So book 1, you learn a lot of nouns and build sentences with it. That's basically book 1, the structure of book 1. Balagha, I think it touches on some balagha points in book 3. It touches on it. And sarf, he goes to detail in book 3 also, for the sarf. So if a person, he continues till book 3, what happens? He learned the vocabulary throughout the books. Each book, you increase on the vocabulary you learned from the previous book. And when you get to book 3, it's like it consolidates all of that. It puts all of the things together and it becomes solid. So a person to learn Arabic and to be fluent in Arabic, it requires patience through all 3 books. Person stays, doesn't give up. It's going to get difficult, it's learning. It's going to get challenging a bit here and there. But inshallah, with the classes, we explain questions and so forth. I think that's for that. Another thing, whenever we're learning a language, any language, there's 4 things nobody look at. There is, you learn qira'ah, which is to read. You learn kitabah, which is to write. Qira'ah, kitabah, and also you learn sama', to listen, and tahadduth, to speak. Tahadduth, so to speak. Those are the 4 things a person must have to learn any language. Learn to read the language. Most of us, alhamdulillah, we can do. Write the language. So if someone is starting learning Arabic, writing Arabic, inshallah, you just come and we have some classes. I don't think we'll do that now in this class. But the writing is also important. The sama' is listening. This is done when you have a lot of vocabulary now. So the qira'ah and the kitabah can be done even without the person knowing the language. Like we have children here, they don't know any Arabic. but they read the Quran and they know how to read it, but they don't know Arabic. But when it comes to listening and speaking with understanding, it requires to have a lot of vocabulary. So this too is a second level. Listening, okay, qira'ah and kitabah, the reading and the listening, all of this is, you are taking in information. You're just taking information. But when you're speaking, what are you doing? You're putting out information. So many people, they find themselves in this stage. Can read, can write, can listen, they can't speak. And that's the problem. We want to get here. You want to get to speak. How are you going to get there? You need to fight yourself. Break, kill the language, break it up. What do you call it? Fight. And inshallah, slowly, you build sentences, small sentences, and the sentences grow and grow and grow. But slowly and steady. Maybe in book 2, we speak more about Arabic and we try to include it in our speech. طيب. That's the introduction. طيب. Another introduction I wanted to give is the importance of learning Arabic. The importance of learning the Arabic language, we know it clearly. It's the language of the Quran and the Sunnah. We want to understand it. And also it is the language of the language that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose for the best of people. The best of people we know is the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba and the Tabi'in and the Tabi'in. Khairun nasi qarni. So, if we learn their language, we will imitate them. That's what Ibn Taymiyyah said. If you learn the language, the Arabic language, it improves a people in the imitation of the Qurun al-Mufaddala, of the righteous generations. If we learn Arabic, it takes us back to that. But the further we go from Arabic, the further we go from that. And therefore, people who leave Arabic completely, you find them far from the deen generally. And the closer the person is to Arabic, the closer he is to the deen. That's generally the case. So we need to learn Arabic and also spread it amongst the people. Ibn Taymiyyah, he said, the Arabic language, or the language, is a shi'ar min a'zami sha'air al-umam. It is the most, or the greatest, or from the greatest outstanding marks of a nation. Once it is gone, the nation is gone. And also Imam al-Shafi'i, he emphasized that a person needs to learn Arabic. ينبغي للمسلم. He said it's appropriate for the Muslim. Some, he said it's wajib for a Muslim to learn of the Arabic, what he establishes deen with. Because we need to learn. We need to know the meaning of La ilaha illallah and so forth. And also, Ibn Taymiyyah, he said, it is makruh for a people who can't speak Arabic to not speak Arabic. It's makruh for them. So, that they just, in their speeches and everything, they just busy with non-Arab language. And Umar radiallahu anhu was one of the most firm statements in Arabic. He said, لا تعلموا الرطانة العاجم. Don't learn the language of the non-Arabs. Umar is straight. Today you find people learning French, they're learning Portuguese, learning Spanish, learning Chinese, but it's nothing to do with Arabic. And he's putting hard work. So why can't people do hard work in the Arabic? It's because it brings us close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب. So we start with الدرس الأول, first lesson. طيب. In the first lesson, we did the rules. So inshallah the class is going to be like this. I'll mention the rules and we read, inshallah. So in the first lesson we learn about هذا. نعم. This is, I'm sure your ears are tired of this already. هذا. Inshallah we'll go to ذلك soon. هذا is a what? هذا means this. It means this. And هذا grammatically is a what? اسم الإشارة للقريب المفرد المذكر. So اسم الإشارة, إشارة means indicative or demonstrative. قريب, near, مذكر, مفرد, singular, and مذكر means masculine. So if a word has those four things, so when you're pointing to something near and it is masculine and singular, it is one thing, not not a lot, and it's male, not a female or masculine, then you use the word hada. So like the word kitabun. If a book is near, kitabun is, say it's qarib. It's one word, it's not plural, it's not many books. It's mufrad, it's mudhakkar, it is a masculine word. Because normally in Arabic, the masculine word doesn't have a ta marbuta, the ta at the end. So you use the word hada. Right. That's the first rule. So now Ashim, we're going to read through the book. Right. Bismillah. Those who are able to, if you don't want to read, just come, no problem, no force. تفضل read. You can put read on that, yes. We're going to be live. If the brother is going to feel difficult with that mic, then I'll leave it out. It's going to bring difficulty. You can. I think just put it close to the brother's neck. Just everyone just read. Just put it there in the middle somewhere. They just put it there somewhere. I think it should catch all the voices. Right, Bismillah. Ibrahim, I think Nazir, you first. اقرأ. I'll follow on my phone.
دراسات ما هذا.
هذا by هذا, not by the first page.
هذا بيت. هذا مسجد.
Translate.
Oh, هذا بيت. This is a house. هذا مسجد. This is a masjid. هذا باب. This is a door. هذا كتاب.
Okay, you think you're taking a lot of the words. I think just give the brother. One, yeah. He sabotaged the whole clause. So,
هذا كتاب. This is a book.
نعم, next.
هذا قلم. This is a pen.
صحيح. نعم. طيب.
هذا مكتب. This is a desk.
طيب. سلمان, why didn't you read?
هذا سرير. This is a bed.
Copy someone. طيب. Next one.
هذا كرسي.
The chair. طيب. Where are you sitting? طيب. The next. So I think that's clear. So هذا is a اسم الإشارة. It's an indicative noun or a demonstrative noun. So it is a noun, ism. So that which is near, singular and masculine. Right. Next thing. He speaks about is how to ask questions with هذا. So we learn how to ask question with ما and and man. Those are the three in order the way it's in the book. Ma means what? Means is or are. Man means who. I'm writing too small English. Who. Type. In grammatical sense, ma is also ism, but it's ismul istifham. What do you say? Why didn't you istinjaz? Ismul istifham. Ismul istifham. طيب. This is not a ism, this one is a harf, it's a particle. Harful istifham. And this one is a likewise ismul istifham. Let's writing a bit fast. طيب. This two can be used. طيب. This, the ma means what? So ma, is it for something with aql or something without aql? Without aql. So it is لغير العاقل. غير العاقل means non-intelligent, doesn't have aql. And man is for the what? للعاقل. للعاقل. For something that has an intellect. For someone that has an intellect. So you use the word man. The harf does not have any connection with aql or غير aql. So this one is للعاقل and لغير العاقل, for both. This one is for both. So when you ask a question about something that doesn't have an intellect, you want to ask, what is this? You're going to say, ma. If it's an inanimate object, a thing. And if it is a human being or angel or jinn, something that has an aql, then you're going to say, man. It's clear. For this one, this is used to ask a question that is two sides, where you can answer with both yes or no. So it's optional. It gives you options. So, is this a house? And ahada, is this? So this one, when you ask a question with it, the answer should start with na'am or la. So these one, your answer is direct. ما هذا؟ هذا قلم. من هذا؟ هذا رجل. هكذا. طيب. So I think that's clear. Now we go back to the book, inshallah. And I think we finished lesson 1. طيب. He says there on top, ما هذا? What is this? اقرأ يا I think we're going to continue. نذير تفضل. ما هذا؟
ما هذا؟ هذا بيت.
طيب next. Translate.
What is this? This is a house.
طيب. أحسن. Next.
هذا بيت. نعم هذا بيت.
Yes, this is okay. طيب. Next.
هذا what is this? هذا قميص.
طيب. Next.
هذا كبير. هذا كبير. هذا كبير.
No.
لا. هذا
Yes. صحيح. نعم. Correct. First answer. Next. طيب. I think ده بس صالح.
هذا مفتاح. This is a key. لا هذا قلم.
ما هذا what is this? هذا مجنون.
Star. نعم. طيب the next one have تمرين. تمرين means exercise. So it's a exercise. ما هذا? That is homework. You work it out inshallah in the book. Hopefully that's clear. I think that should be easy inshallah. طيب we go to the next. There's another تمرين. أهذا بيت. So you might just answer first نعم ولا and then you answer. So the first one, for example, أهذا بيت, you say لا هذا مسجد. طيب. The next تمرين الثالث, third, you have اقرأ واكتب. Read and write. He says هذا مكتب. طيب. I think we can read that. حركة. Read. Skip. You can't see. Yes. Next. نعم.
هذا قلم. This is a pen.
نعم. Next. Next.
هذا ما هذا what is this? هذا كوب. هذا بيت. هذا بيت.
Next. نعم. تفضل. صالح.
ما هذا what is this? هذا مفتاح.
طيب. Here next. So this you can take the next one. من هذا? Not من. What does من mean? طيب. Next.
من هذا؟ هذا ولد. Who is this? This is a boy.
نعم.
هذا ولد.
Just move it around. Send it around the next round. طيب the next, I think the next round just send the mic around. No problem inshallah. Struggle, don't worry. طيب the next one. طيب جيب عيونه. ما هذا؟ بل اقرأ.
ما هذا مسجد.
Next. Translate.
ما هذا, what is this? هذا مسجد. This is a masjid.
Next.
من هذا? Who is this? هذا تاجر. This is a trader.
هذا كلب. This is a dog.
No.
Oh. هذا كلب. Is this a dog? لا هذا كتاب. No, this is a cat.
صحيح. Next one.
هذا حمار. This is a donkey.
نعم. Next. أقرأ.
هذا حمار. لا هذا حصان. This is a donkey. No, this is a horse.
نعم.
وما هذا جمل. What is this? This is a camel.
جمل is a camel. طيب the next. أحمد. Next.
من هذا, what is this? هذا مدرس. This is a teacher.
I think you skipped the one down.
I skipped one.
It's fine. Continue. The books are different. Sometimes the books are different. Like that book is different to this one. Not different. Just sometimes تقديم تأخير. Something before, something after. But it's the same content. طيب. Next one. I think it's by the rooster.
ما هذا, what is this? هذا ديك. This is a rooster.
Next one.
هذا قميص. Is this a shirt? لا هذا منديل. No, this is a handkerchief.
طيب next one. اقرأ واكتب. It says read. اقرأ is read. واكتب write. So that inshallah I think you can go through it also on your own. That is so as homework. Just go over it, read through it. If you have time inshallah write it down. You can عندكم وقت. طيب we go to the lesson 2. Lesson 2 is exactly the same as lesson 1. That's why I want to do it. Because it's not long. It's similar to lesson 1. طيب. In lesson 1 we learned now ma, man, and these extra notes inshallah I'll try to print for the brothers. These extra notes and then now they put it in the book somewhere because it's going to take a lot of time if you write all these things in the class. طيب ذلك in lesson 2 الدرس الثاني. Lesson 2 we learn about ذلك, and ذلك, the setup of the lesson in the lesson 2 is similar to lesson 1. The only difference is ذلك. So ذلك means that, and grammatically it is اسم الإشارة also. It's a demonstrative noun, pronoun. للبعيد, for something that is far. But also it is المفرد singular and مذكر masculine. So the only difference between هذا and ذلك is the one is for near and one is for far. Why is it the only difference? If you want to just conceptualize and understand it better, the ismul ishara actually in هذا and ذلك is what? The actual ismul ishara is ذا. That's the ismul ishara. The ha is addition. They call it ha'u tanbih, the ha of grabbing someone's attention. This ha can enter into a damir also. In the Quran, Allah says, ha antum, ha'ulai. Ha antum, that ha is ha'u tanbih. Antum is the word, but ha entered before it. So, ha is for grabbing attention. The ismul ishara is da. This one means this. The. So even if I say, the masjidun, it's fine. But normally, kathrat al-istimal, the way they use it is hada. طيب. When I add the kaf means far. It brings about the meaning of distance. It is far. So now, dhaka means that. And if I want to make it even further, and also another thing that brings the meaning of distance is the lam. So I can say, dhalika. I can say also, hadaka, which means that. But I can never join the ha and the lam together. I cannot say, hadhalika. Because the lam and the ha doesn't come together. Clear? We have another word. What does huna mean? Huna means here. If you make it for ka, the kaf. That kaf is not a damir. That kaf is harf. Harfu khitab. It is a letter of spoken to. It changes like a damir, but it's not a damir actually. So that kaf if I'm talking to one person, I can say the ka, one man. If I'm talking to one woman, the ki. Talking to many men, the kum. In the Quran we see dhalikum. And dhalikunna for many women. So it can change like a damir, but it's not a damir. But it's a damir, it's going to come in the lessons inshallah. It's going to come in, I think, lesson 9 or so. طيب اسم الإشارة للبعيد المفرد المذكر. That is ذلك. It is a demonstrative noun for something that is far, singular, or for something that is masculine, singular, and far. طيب. The next thing we do in the lesson is exactly the same. How to ask questions for ذلك. So we're going to do ما ذلك, which means ما ذلك. What is that? Adhalika. Is that? Man dhalika. Who is that? So that's the same set of the lesson, inshallah. So we continue. I think the mic just put some in the middle, inshallah, because it's going to take a lot of work. That's hopefully it picks up, inshallah. طيب. Bismillah. تفضل نذير. Hussein.
ما ذلك? What is that? ذلك نجم. That is the
Next.
هذا مسجد. This is the masjid. وذلك بيت. And that is the house.
هذا حصان, this is a horse. وذلك حمار, and that is a donkey. كذلك قوم في تفضل لا
طيب.
ما ذلك, what is that? ذلك سرير.
Next. من هذا? Who is? ومن من هذا مدرس teacher. That's an imam. Good. Next.
ما ذلك حجر. What is that? It is a stone.
حق.
هذا سكر وذلك
سكر.
سكر وذلك لبن. This is the
This is
honey,
sugar,
sugar,
and that is milk. هذا سكر وذلك لبن. That concludes the end of lesson 2. طيب اقرأ واكتب. You said read and write. We have هذا سكر وذلك لبن. That means this is sugar and that is milk. من ذلك? ذلك إمام. Who is that? That is an imam. أذلك قط? Is that a cat? لا ذلك كلب. That's a dog. ما هذا? What is that? هذا حجر. That is a حجر. Rock. Stone. There's no other words. As we go, inshallah, in the book 1 and book listen throughout the lessons, try to, inshallah, please memorize the vocabulary. So you have a whole week to memorize vocabulary. Even if you play the lesson over and over, there are lessons on the lessons on YouTube on the channel. You can play that over, just to get the mufradat, the singular words. Also, another way to learn this, the words, write it down, each word with a meaning in a book somewhere, or make cards or something, to make it easy for you to learn. Because we have to increase the vocabulary. That's the main purpose of book 1. Book 1 is increasing vocabulary as much as possible and learning how to form sentences. When you come to book 2, we learn to increase the vocabulary with sarf. So now you learn something to increase the vocabulary with, even further. طيب. I think, inshallah, we end with that for tonight. And next week we do, bi'idhnillah, the introduction to types of words, types of sentences, and grammar. Those 3 introductions. And then we continue with lesson 3 also, inshallah, because types of words we need to know before we continue further. Types of words in Arabic, and then types of sentences, 2 types of sentences. And then we learn the i'rab, grammar, the terms. So we're going to use, you say a word with the you say, what is this? Marfu', it's majroor, so forth. So these terms, inshallah, next week I'll give it this notes, and next week notes are printed on paper with double side, and inshallah everyone will have it. Subhanakallah bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.